The Boston Red Sox have won a sixth consecutive game, also pushing the Angels' losing streak to a franchise record 13 games. The Red Sox take this one 6-5 in 10 innings. The Red Sox first road win in extra innings this year. They finally don't get walked off in extras. That's big for the Red Sox. And maybe secure a series split at the very minimum with the Angels, meaning the Angels cannot pass them in the standings, in the wild card standings, at least at the end of this series. So it's big for the Red Sox. They started this road trip 5-0, got 5 games left, and let's see how it works. My name is Derek, and this is Red Sox Recap on Bleacher Brawls, and let's get into it. The Red Sox came out tonight, and they came out hot in the first inning. Sorry, not in the first inning, in the second inning. They came out, obviously, they fell down 2-0 after the first. In the second inning, they came out and put up 3. And then the Angels tied at 3-3. And the Angels took a 4-3 lead. Then they took a 5-3 lead. Then the Red Sox kind of came back, made it 5-5 in the 6th and the 7th. And that's how it stuck all the way until the 10th inning, where the Red Sox scored on a Christian Vasquez single to bring in Trevor Story, who was the ghost runner on second, due to him making the last out of the 9th inning. A big win for the Red Sox. They finally win on the road in extras, which is that's just nice. That's Red Sox needed that because they've been walked off way too many times this year already. And there are little concerns from both sides, from both teams, obviously, coming out of tonight's game. First things first, I'll start with the Angels, though. Mike Trout came out of the game with left groin tightness, or was it right groin tightness? I don't know. It was groin tightness. I know it was groin tightness. I forget which side, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter to us. It's just he had groin tightness, and he had to get taken out for Jo Adell. And we'll see how long Trout is out, if he'll be out for just a day or two. We'll be back in the line tomorrow, or it'll be a little bit more extended timeout. For the Red Sox, Garrett Whitlock is kind of limping on the bunt on the bunt from, I think it was Tyler Wade. It was kind of, it looked like he was limping to get to the ball. And we've seen a couple times this year where he's kind of limped here or there, just walking off the mound, it seems almost. But this one was kind of a clear limp. And then Bogaerts exited the game with left shoulder tightness. He didn't hit in the 9th inning. It was Franchi Cordero who came in and hit. So the Red Sox used 11 position players tonight. The only guy they didn't use is Kevin Pilecki, who's the backup catcher. So they literally used everyone besides the backup catcher. And but they got a win. They figured it out. And the bottom half of the order did a very good job tonight. I'll just say the bottom 5 of the order, for the most part, did a good job. The top 4, obviously, they still did good. The top 4 still did good tonight. The Red Sox had 15 hits. Story went 2 for 5. Verdugo went 2 for 5. Vasquez went 2 for 4 and also had a walk. Christian Arroyo, he did go over 4, but Jackie Bradley pinch hit for him. No, he didn't pinch hit for him. He came in as a defensive replacement and hit in the 10th, and Bradley got himself a hit. And then Bobby Dahlbeck, yes, he didn't drive in, the extra runs in the 10th, hitting into that double play, but he still went 2 for 5, which is a 400 average. So even Dahlbeck had a good game tonight, and he only struck out once. So that bottom of the order all did very well tonight. Even Akike got on base with a hit. Devers had 2 hits and a walk. Martinez had 2 hits. Bogaerts had a hit. All the starters besides Christian Arroyo had a hit. And every spot in the lineup, if you include the bench players, had a hit, because Jackie Bradley Jr. had a hit in Arroyo's spot in the lineup. So a big game from the Red Sox. Hit-wise, it just seemed like they couldn't really put hits together for the most part. The Angels, on the other hand, they only scored 1 last run, but they only had 8 hits today compared to the Red Sox 15. 2 of the Ohtani had a hit. Trout had 2 hits. Jo Adell, who came in for Trout, also had a hit and a walk. Max Stassi had a hit and a walk. Juan Lagares had a hit. Tyler Wade had 2 hits. Velasquez didn't do anything, and that's it for the order. Pitching wise, Jose Suarez was good. 5 innings, 3 runs. That's borderline quality start. The Angels, if someone told the Angels that's what they were going to get out of him, they would have taken it. And then the bullpen, Ortega and Tepera both gave up runs. And Quijada and Raisel Iglesias both didn't give up anything. And then Jaime Barria, obviously, in the 10th, gave up the run, which was the ghost runner. The Red Sox pitching, Whitlock, 4 innings, giving up 4 runs. Not great for him. I'm starting to question whether or not Whitlock's strong point would be as a starter, at least for this year, considering that he started the year in the bullpen. Now you move him to the starter in the season. it seems, and he had a 0.93 ERA in the bullpen. Yes, so it was just under 10 innings, but still. And then starting, he's got an ERA over 4. So they might want to look at bringing him back in the bullpen. And I'd honestly keep Houck in the bullpen. The only thing is, did he have to call someone up? So, or just wait till Sale gets healthy to do it. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And then Jake Diekman also gave up a run in the 5th. So Red Sox gave 5 runs in the first 5 innings. But after that, Red Sox pitching staff didn't give up any runs. Sal Moore went an inning and a third and got 4 outs. No one reached base, well, by hits or walk. I don't think anyone reached base against him. Austin Davis, got 2 outs. He only gave up a walk. That was nothing else though. Tanner Houck went 2 innings, only gave up a hit, and then the 1 walk was an intentional walk to Shohei Ohtani. And Matt Strahm pitched the 10th, got the save, and didn't give up anything and struck out 2 guys. The Red Sox pitching staff had 14 strikeouts. The Angels pitching staff only had 4. They had 8. I don't know where I read 4. That was definitely an 8, but the Angels only walked 2 guys. The Red Sox only drew 2 walks tonight, so we'd like to see that improve. But like I said, it's if the Red Sox are winning, it's not as big as a problem as it would be if they were losing. But it's just something to keep an eye on right now. Now the big question for both teams is, with Bogaerts and Trout, are they going to be able to play tomorrow or just the rest of the series in general? But more so tomorrow. The Red Sox would probably play Arroyo at short, or they put Kike at short like they did tonight and have Bradley and Franchy in the outfield. But it seems likely that they just put Arroyo at short for the Red Sox. And then, but I don't know. They do have Reed Detmers on the mound, so I don't know if the Red Sox want to play Bradley and Franchy. So who knows? Who knows what they'll do? So it seems like they just put Arroyo at short, and have Dahlbeck play first, and have one of Bradley and Cordero in right and Kike in center. Then against Ohtani, we'll see what happens. With the Angels and Trout, it'll most likely just be Joe Adell playing in his spot, most likely. That's who came in tonight for him. That makes the most sense. It'll be Joe Adell, Brandon Marsh, and Juan Lagares will probably be the outfield for the Angels. At least that's what makes the most sense for them. Pitching-wise, tomorrow the matchup will be Nathan Eovaldi and Reed Detmers. The Angels put their pitchers back. So unfortunately, no Nate Eovaldi versus Shohei Ohtani matchup, unfortunately. So that sucks a little bit. But then in the last game, it's Nick Pivetta and Shohei Ohtani, which could make the argument that might even be a better pitching matchup based on what Nick Pivetta has done recently. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out the rest of the series. Red Sox, at the very minimum, have a series split at the very minimum. And if they win one more game in this series, they win the series. The Red Sox have been very good as of late. And I've said it before, but you go back to that Texas series, it's literally just series win. The Atlanta series, it was series split there. And then that Texas series started. Series win, series sweep, series win. Then the Baltimore series, yes, that was a rough 5-game series. And then they split the Cincinnati series. And they just swept Oakland, and they won the first 2 against the Angels. Red Sox won 6 in a row. And it seemed like it was just a little kind of 6-game slide in the first 5 games against Baltimore, and then that first game against Cincinnati. But I mean, Whitlock was also the first Red Sox starter to give up an earned run in like 6 starts or something. Like, they were going to give up an earned run eventually. But the bullpen picked him up besides Jake Diekman. And I know Doug, he hates Jake Diekman and he hates Sal Moore, but obviously Diekman didn't pitch well. But hey, look at Sal Moore. He went an inning and third, didn't give up anything. And I like Sal Moore personally. I probably like every single fastball splitter guy there is. So that's a little bit of bias for me. But it's nice to see Sal Moore get into a spot that's still a little bit of pressure and pitch well. His ERA actually is down to 2.79. So Sal Moore actually has been surprisingly good. I think he's working his way to not getting sent down once the pitchers start to get healthy. We'll see. It's looking like it's probably going to be Brazier ahead of him. And then who even knows? Maybe they'll risk doing something with Matt Barnes and getting rid of Matt Barnes before Sal Moore goes. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know if that'll be how it plays out, but I kind of hope it is, because at some point you got to just give up on Matt Barnes. And Sal Moore recently, it has been bad. He had that, bad throw that everyone kind of gets on him for in that Baltimore game that kind of threw away the game. But that's one game. He's been solid this year. Like I said, his ERA is at 2.79 ERA. So he's been better than what people remember of him, because he had that one really, really bad moment. The Red Sox, obviously, They're now entrenched in the third wild card spot right now in the wild card standings. The Red Sox are 3.5 behind Tampa, 4.5 behind Toronto for the other two wild card spots, but they're a game and a half ahead of the White Sox. They're a game and a half of Cleveland. They are now 2.5 games ahead of the Angels, 2.5 games ahead of the Rangers, 4 games ahead of Seattle, and they play Seattle after this series against the Angels. So it's important for the Red Sox to, at the very least, go 3-2 the rest of this road trip, and that 3-2 only one loss this series and one loss in the Mariners series. If they do that, that'll be good. They'll be 8-2 on the road trip. They'll be above 500, and they'll be looking good right now. Obviously, the Red Sox after that win are now 29-27, 2 games over 500, and I want to see them win tomorrow night. You got Nate on the mound. Hopefully, Nate can give you a good start, and then even Nick Pivetta. If the Red Sox could sweep this 4-game series against the Angels, that's going to be kind of crazy. From the Angels' point of view, it's rough because you play the Mets and the Dodgers next. The Angels, you look at it, like I was looking at it tonight, like the Angels can't lose again. Like they went up 5-3 tonight. Like they can't just continue to lose every single game. But jeez, I don't know what to do on the Angels right now. It seems like they're just I don't know. There's just something isn't there right now that they had before. It's yes, they've had some injuries and some other stuff, but it just seems like that whatever it was that they had going for them just isn't there right now, and that's why they're losing so much. It's just not there for them, and it doesn't really make sense to me what's gone missing besides the fact of them having injuries. But it just seems like the play hasn't been there as well, so it's kind of weird. But I hope the Angels turn around after this Red Sox series, not during the Red Sox series. Obviously, I hope the Red Sox make the playoffs over the Angels, but the Red Sox and the Angels can both get in. I'd like to see that. Be nice for Trout and Ohtani to get into the playoffs. The Angels kind of wasting Trout and Ohtani right now, let's be honest. So hopefully it would be nice to see them get in. And for the Red Sox, obviously just keep on pushing, keep doing what you're doing right now, because if they can, all they got to do, let's just road trip. Let's go 3-2. Just split these next 2 games against the Angels at the very minimum, and then win the series against Seattle 2 games to 1 in a 3-game series. Win 2 out of 3 at the very minimum. And they'll be in a very good spot with that. That's what they need to do at the very minimum. And if they can do better than that, they can go 4-1 the rest of the road trip, or even 5-0 and have an 11-game win streak heading into the Oakland series at home. The Red Sox, especially if they get hot now and they start playing well, when they're playing Oakland, and I know they have Detroit in a little bit before they hit all the divisional games, it's going to be huge for them. Huge for them. And yes, those divisional games are about 3.5, 4 weeks away, and yes, you could say it's a long time away. It's not a long time down the road. It's still 3.5, 4 weeks down the road, and it is. But when you look at the schedule, that looks a lot closer than it is. And when you start taking the days down, you don't realize you're not taking the days down. You're just going day by day, and focusing on the team. That's flying by, and they've played well, obviously, recently. They won 6 in a row. Let's hope they can just keep it up, continue doing what they're doing, and hopefully just, stay on the right path and put themselves in a position to make the right moves at the trade deadline to make this team successful and get into the playoffs and hopefully reach the end goal of winning a World Series. Because at the end of the day, that's the one thing that matters the most. Division, wild card, doesn't matter how you get in. But if you get in and win the World Series, that's the only thing that matters. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this Red Sox game recap here on Bleacher Brawls. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the links in the description, the podcast, the website, the Instagram, the Twitter. All the crew's Twitter is also down there as well. Make sure to check out later today. We will have a prospect pipeline covering the Salem Red Sox. Go over some of the prospects on the Salem Red Sox, guys like Blaze Jordan, Wilkin Gonzalez, Edinson Paulino, and much more. So make sure to check that out. That goes up at 2 p.m. today on Wednesday, June 8th, actually. June 8th today, Wednesday, June 8th. And so make sure to keep your eyes out for that. Also make sure to keep your eyes out for all our other videos. Make sure to check out all our previous Red Sox game recaps and all our other videos that we put up as well. Thanks for tuning in to the Red Sox recap on Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derek. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.